Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see by the title of this video, I wanted to talk to you about how to make full-time income online. I've been making full-time income online since 2017 or 2018, so it's been years and years since I have worked a 9-to-5 job, and in those years my bills have been paid every single month. So I feel very thankful, I feel very blessed, and I wanted to teach you how I did it so that you can do it yourself and you can put yourself in a better financial position the way I was able to. Now, when it comes to 9-to-5s, it's always been difficult for me to keep one because I have always hated being on someone else's schedule. But not just that, I struggle with chronic illness, chronic pain, and I also have severe mental health issues as well. So that makes it very difficult to keep a 9-to-5. I've been fired from jobs in the past because of the fact that I have a chronic illness. I have to keep calling out of work, or like my mental health would crash and like I'm in a severe state of depression. There's been times also where even my anxiety has made it impossible for me to keep a 9-to-5. Like there was a time where I was working retail and it was so overwhelming that I would like go into the bathroom and have like an anxiety attack because there were too many people in the store. So it was just nothing about a 9-to-5 like fit well with me at all. So I'm thankful that in 2016 or 17, when I started YouTube, I started coming across methods on how to start making money through my YouTube channel. And I'm not just talking about the YouTube ads that you see, like you'll see YouTubers getting paid for ads. No, I'm not just talking about that. I've found other ways to monetize my YouTube channel, and I feel like that's why I've been able to keep a consistent stream of income coming in. So yeah, I wanted to share all of that with you today, just in case any of you, can relate to this. If you are someone who struggles with chronic illness, who struggles with mental health issues, or maybe you're just in a toxic living environment that you're trying to get out of. I hope that this information in this video will help you to start on your process of making full-time income so that you can better your situation, And this process is not as difficult as a lot of people think. Like a lot of people, when they hear making money online, they think it's going to be a process that takes years and years to get started, and it's honestly not. I feel like it only takes years when you don't know what to do and you're trying out different methods on your own, like trial and error. But when you have someone who has already done it, that lays out exactly what to do, it honestly doesn't take that long to get started. And you'll see what I mean when we dive into the voiceover part of this video. You'll see how simple the process actually is. So yeah, I hope that this is going to be helpful to you guys. I love you, I appreciate you, and let's go ahead and dive into the voiceover. Okay, beautiful people, let's go ahead and get into this voiceover. Now, as always, whenever I have these videos that have a lot of information, it tends to get a little bit rambly, so I apologize in advance. I did take notes, so hopefully I can, keep this as short as possible and make it as clear as possible. So when it comes to making money online, it's really just a 3-step process. It's a 3-step formula. So the first step is to build community. The second step is to create a product or service. And the third step is to ask your community to buy that product or that service. Now, some of you might hear build community and immediately start panicking, like, oh my God, I have to build a following. It's going to take forever, or it's going to be hard to do. Trust me, it does not take forever. It is not hard to do, and I'm going to break this down. I'm going to break down every single step so you can see how easy it is. Let's get into step number 1 first. Build your community, okay? So the way that you build an online community is by posting things online that adds value to people's lives. And when I say add value, I mean improves people's lives in some way, right? So the best way to do this, the best way to add value to people's lives is to take your pain and use it to help them. Okay, so you can do this in 2 ways. You can do this directly or indirectly. So when I say you can take your pain and add value to people's lives directly, what I mean is that you can teach them or talk to them about the pain that you've experienced. And an example of that would be this YouTube channel. My whole YouTube channel is dedicated to all the things in life that I have experienced that have caused me pain. And I talk about it. I share personal stories, I teach about it and things of that sort. So that's a way that you can directly add value to people's lives by sharing your pain, right? Now, the other way to do it is indirectly. So when I say indirectly, I mean to post about something that helped you through your pain. So for example, one other thing that helped me through a painful time in my life is tarot, watching tarot readings, getting personal tarot readings and things like that. So on my other channel, I post tarot videos. You see what I'm saying? So on that channel, I'm not directly talking about the things that have caused me pain, but instead I'm taking something that I utilize to help me with pain, and now I'm using it to help other people. You see? And with this, the possibilities are really endless. Like, you don't have to limit yourself with this. Like, for example, if growing up books were the thing that you loved to help like escape from like the chaos of your house, you can create a platform specifically dedicated to your favorite books. If Harry Potter was something that you loved growing up because it was a way to escape from your day-to-day life or the pain that you were in, you can create a whole channel, based off of Harry Potter, like just reviewing the Harry Potter books, or analyzing the Harry Potter characters. There are plenty of channels like that that get a lot of views. Or let's say, for example, art is something that you did to help to channel your pain or to help alleviate your pain, right? You can post about your art on, build a whole platform about your artwork, right? So that's what I mean when I say indirectly using your pain to help other people. Artists, musicians, and people like that, they do this all the time. They take their pain and they turn it into a song of some sort, and they share it with the world and help other people through it by them sharing. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, you can do this directly or you can do this indirectly, right? And when you post about your pain, it attracts your soul tribe to you. And that's why I said that this is not as hard as you think it is. It's not about like trying to think of ways to get people to follow you and to sit and like strategize. And, it's not about that. It's really an energetic thing, or at least that's how I perceive it. People always ask me, like, how did you build your following so quickly? Because my channel really did take off quite quickly. It wasn't like a slow build. It really did take off quickly. And I think that's because I didn't sit around overthinking like, okay, what is it that I should post about? I was just posting genuinely from a place of, okay, this is what has caused me pain. This can help me to help other people alleviate their pain. And by doing that, I was attracting my soul tribe to me. It was like the energy that I was putting out. And for those of you who don't know what a soul tribe is, it's basically a group of people who have experienced the same things that you've experienced this lifetime. So you will be going through similar pain, similar issues. You'll have a similar upbringing. Like, if you see my comments on my YouTube videos, you'll see everyone like, oh my God, I feel so understood by this. I feel so seen. This is exactly what I've been through. That's how you'll know that these people are your soul tribe. And you don't have to overthink and strategize to attract your soul tribe to you. All you have to do is create from an authentic space. All you have to do is say, okay, this is the pain I experienced. I'm going to use it and I'm going to help other people. Like I said, whether it be directly or indirectly. And that energy that you put out, it's going to attract your soul tribe to you. And then they are going to continue to follow you and continue to, engage with your content. So it's very rewarding for the people that are your audience, but it's also very rewarding for you because you get to connect to people who understand exactly what you have been through. And it's very satisfying, gratifying to actually be able to make a difference in people's lives. And it makes you feel like you didn't go through everything you went through for nothing. Like, at least you're able to connect with other people and help other people through it as well. It can be extremely healing for sure. So I personally recommend starting a YouTube channel. And I say that because to me, YouTube is where you can build the deepest connection with people. It's something about making videos that helps you to just feel really connected to the person that's watching, and then they comment, and it just forms a deeper bond. I think it's very good for community building. And then you can use other social media to, maybe connect with them on a more daily basis. Like, for example, if you post one YouTube video per week, maybe your subscribers want to see you throughout the rest of the week. So then maybe they'll follow you on Instagram, and you can keep them posted on Instagram, or like update them on certain things that are going on in your life on Instagram. And you can choose any social media platform that you want as well. It just depends on what your strengths are, what you're comfortable with. Like, for example, if you are someone who enjoys pictures, then naturally Instagram might be the place for you. If you're someone who enjoys writing out your thoughts, Twitter might be the place for you. I know that I prefer Twitter because I like to write out my thoughts, right? And that's where I have the second largest following. I have a large following on YouTube, and the second largest is on Twitter, and then the third would be on Instagram. So yeah, it's all about what you would like and what's most authentic to you. And it's just another platform for your YouTube community to follow you or to keep up with you on a day-to-day basis. You can announce like when you are uploading certain videos. You can ask them questions, opinions, and things of that sort. And it's just a way for them to get to know you better outside of your YouTube channel. So just pick whatever platform feels the most natural to you. So one thing that you don't want to do is to overthink this process of posting content. Do not overthink it. What you want to do is just make sure that you are passionate about or interested in whatever it is that you are talking about. Like I said, when I first experienced narcissistic abuse, I was very, very passionate about learning about narcissism because I was in so much pain. I was on a search to figure out what the hell had just happened to me, So I was very passionate about it. I was very interested in it. So I didn't have to overthink it. It came naturally to me to deep dive into like videos about narcissism, articles about narcissism. So it's like everything that I'm learning, I'm just going on YouTube and sharing what it is that I learned. And then that kind of spiraled into me reading about childhood trauma, because narcissism starts in childhood trauma. And I was trying to understand, what was going on in the brain of a narcissist. I was trying to understand what was going on in my brain. How did I fall victim to this type of person? And then that's when it spiraled into childhood trauma. That's when it spiraled into like just going on like a healing journey or a self-love journey. So I was just very authentically sharing what I was passionate about. I wasn't overthinking it. I wasn't sitting down and brainstorming like, oh, what should I post this week? What are people going to want to see? I honestly just tuned out, everything else and was just posting what I was genuinely interested in and genuinely passionate about. So do that. And that will help you to stay consistent as well, because it's going to be hard for you to stay consistent if you are not interested in or not passionate about what it is that you are posting. So don't overthink it. Don't think to yourself, what are people going to want to see? No, post from a genuine and authentic place, and your soul tribe, the people who are meant to follow you, they are going to find you and your community is going to build. So next, let's talk about creating your product or your service. So your product or service is going to be the thing that actually makes you your income. Now, in order to create your product or service, you want to pay attention to what your community needs. And that's why it's important for you to interact with your community and for you to read the comments, because most of the time they will give you hints or clues as to what they're willing to buy from you. And sometimes it won't even be just hints and clues. Like sometimes they'll just flat out tell you, this is what we want from you. So for example, in a couple of my videos, if you go in the comments, you'll see people saying, hey, like, do you write books? Like, if you ever wrote a book, I would definitely buy it. So yeah, that is an example of my community telling me directly what they will buy from me, which I'm still working on, by the way. I have not released a book yet, but I am working on it, and I will be releasing one in the near future. But anyway, yeah, like I said, pay attention to your community. They'll pretty much tell you what it is that you can sell to them or what they are willing to buy from you. So there are two types of income that you can make from your products or your services, right? So the first type of income is active, and the second type of income is passive. Now, active income is when you trade your time for money. So for example, when you go and work a 9-to-5 job, you are trading your time for your money. You get paid an hourly rate, right? And there is a limit on how much money you can make in the day, because there's a limit on how much time you have in the day, right? So you're trading your time for money. Passive income is income that you can make while you are sleeping. There's no limit on how much you can make because it doesn't depend on your time. So I'll give you an example of each just so, I can make it more clear. So an example of active income for me is the tarot readings that I sell. Like I mentioned before, I have a tarot channel, and people who watch my videos, they have the option of booking a personal reading with me. Now, this is considered active income because I am trading my time for my money. There's only so many readings I can do in a day because there's only so much time in a day. So there's a limit to how many readings I can do, and therefore there's a limit on my income when it comes to those readings. So that would be active income. So examples of passive income that I make would be, number one, the money that I make from YouTube ads. Whenever someone views my channel, I get paid per view because of the ads. And number two, I get paid to do extended videos. So let me quickly explain each. With the YouTube ads, I pretty much upload a video onto YouTube, and then from there, there's no limit on how much money I can make on it. If it reaches 1 million views, then I'll get paid accordingly. There's no cap on how much money I can make, because with passive income, you're not trading your time for money. You're creating something one time and you're getting paid for it over and over again. So you can literally go to sleep and wake up and you would have made money in your sleep. So the other example I gave is the extended videos. So you could also refer to this as like paid videos, because on YouTube, you watch me for free, right? You click on my YouTube channel, you can watch me for free. But I also have the option of people watching my more in-depth videos for a price. So once again, there is no limit on that. Whenever I link an extended video and I say, hey, if you guys want more info about this, I have a more in-depth extended video over on Vimeo or over on Patreon. There's no limit on how much money I can make on those things because it just depends on how many people buy it. But I'm not trading my time for money. So once again, I could go to sleep. 1,000 people could buy that extended video while I'm sleeping, and I wake up, with that money now in my account. So that's the difference between active and passive income. Of course, I prefer passive because once again, you are making money in your sleep and there's no limit to how much money you can actually make. And also, let me quickly tell you the difference between a product or a service. For those of you who don't know, a product is like an actual item that you are selling, and with a service there is no item. So for example, if you're selling a book, that will be a product because it's an actual item, right? If you're selling a paid video, that would be a product, right? But my one-on-one tarot readings that I give, like my personal readings, that would be considered a service. If you are like a life coach and someone's doing a one-on-one session with you over Skype or Zoom or whatever people are using nowadays, that would be a service. So a product is like something that's tangible, an actual item. A service would be something that is not an item, but you are adding value to people and they are giving you money in exchange. So that's the difference between the two. So once you get to this step, like I said, you're not going to want to overthink. Just pay attention to what your community needs and then create a product or service accordingly. Preferably create one that is within the passive income bracket, because then you can make money while you sleep. And once you get to this step, if you still feel stuck, like you've talked to your community and you paid attention to the comments and you still don't know like what you want to sell, you can literally just go online and look up digital products or like digital product ideas and just kind of scroll through the articles and see whichever one, resonates with you. So there's nothing wrong with going and getting ideas on which items that you want to sell, because if it doesn't immediately come to mind, seeing an article about it might, give you an aha moment, like this would be perfect to sell for my community. So the last step is to ask your community to buy your product or service. Now, this is the easiest step because you have already created this close-knit community, right? And so they are going to be more than happy to support you because you've built a genuine relationship with them. And plus, they see how valuable your free content is. And so they're thinking to themselves that your paid content must be even more valuable, So they'll be more than happy to buy from you. And if you're someone like me who feels weird about selling things, I feel like this is the perfect way of going about doing that, because it doesn't feel like you are manipulating them. Like when I was first starting to make money online, the way that my brain worked, I'm like, oh, this feels weird. Like when you're trying to sell something, it kind of reminds me of like a car salesman, right? Like, have you ever seen Matilda where the father is a car salesman and the cars are like old and broke down, but he's talking people into buying them anyway? That's how I always envisioned sales, like it being very sleazy. And plus I worked at, sorry, I'm going on like a little side rant. Plus I worked at this telemarketing place. And I remember at one point we were in training and the guy that was training me said, there's going to be times where you call and you try to make a sale and they'll tell you like, hey, I just had like a spouse that died, so I can't afford this right now. And they said to try to sell to them anyway. And I was like, wait, what? You don't just give them your condolences and then hang up the phone? And the guy was like, no, you still need to try to sell to them, and I'm going to teach you how to sell to them. And I'm like, that is absolutely insane and sleazy. And so I obviously did not last long at that job. But yeah, I've always felt weird about sales. But when I use this method of actually building a community, it doesn't feel weird to me anymore, because it doesn't feel like you're manipulating anyone. It doesn't feel like you are selling them anything. It really just feels like you are asking a group of friends to buy something that you created that's going to benefit them, and it's going to benefit you because you're making money, you know? So yeah. It is perfect, or this method is perfect for those of you who feel weird about trying to sell something. And that's why I said that this is much easier than people would think that it is. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's all you're going to need to start the process of making full-time income online. Now, for those of you who are still feeling a little bit hesitant, or you're still feeling a little bit fearful, what I did was I created an in-depth post and I put it on Patreon, where I break down step by step how to film your first YouTube video. So I break down what supplies you need, how to choose a topic, how to edit your thumbnail, how to pick out a title for your post, things of that sort, like everything you need to successfully create your first video. And I created that post because, like I said, I just know that a few people are still going to be hesitant. And I feel like if you can get through posting your first video, things start to flow a bit more smoothly, like after you get over that hump of posting your first video. So yeah, that's why I created a step-by-step guide on how to film your first video. I made it really easy to follow. And also within the post, I included the correct mindset to have, like when you start to feel discouraged, when you start to lack motivation. I gave some tips and some advice on how to kind of keep going and how to not get discouraged if you're not getting, a certain amount of views right away. So all of that is in the post that I put on Patreon, and I will put the link in the description box down below. And also, for those of you who have been asking me about how to handle hate comments and how to handle harsh criticism, because that's another fear that a lot of people have, is how to deal with how hateful the internet can be when you're building a following. And I have a separate post coming about that. I didn't want to put it on this post because I feel like this video is already way too long. So I'm going to make a separate post about that tomorrow, about how to deal with hate comments and things of that sort. I'm going to be making a YouTube video about that and posting it tomorrow. So if you have that fear, or if that's something that's holding you back, then be sure to check out my YouTube channel tomorrow. So yeah, that is it. I hope that this was helpful, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And just remember that when you're in the process of building your community, make sure that you keep in mind that this is something that's healing for them, but it also can be extremely healing for you as well. So when you approach it from that standpoint, I feel like that's something that will make you feel really fulfilled in the end. So it goes past just making money, because a lot of us are not fully motivated just by money. Some of us need some sort of purpose behind what we're doing. So I just feel like if you keep in mind that you're healing other people and you're healing yourself, then that can give you a sense of purpose. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.